Hi, YouTube. How are you doing? I am here today with Jambre,
Hello.
and we are going to do a quick mini set review. Mini set launches next Tuesday. All the cards have been revealed by now. I haven't seen most of them yet, so for me, it's going to be first impressions. Jambre has seen
Yeah,
them
I've seen
all.
some.
He has talked about them on his stream, so he has a little more in-depth opinions about it. Maybe we'll see. Okay, let's just insta get started. We're starting with Death Knight. This is the first card. Toy Snatching Guys, 3 mana, 2/1. Gigantify, Battlecry, Discover, and Undead. Reduce its cost by this minion's attack. For me, that sounds too complicated. You have to read the card 3 times just to know what it does.
Yes, all right. First, what does Gigantify mean?
It means that you get an 8 mana, 8/8 of this card in your hand. A bit like miniaturized, but the opposite, right? Where you
Right.
get a 1 mana, 1/1, you get an 8 mana, 8/8 with the
Yeah.
same effect, like same card,
So
same effect.
the 8 mana one, you're going to discover undead and reduce it by 8. So
Yeah.
pretty much free for the undead you get from that.
Mm.
The first one, you probably need to hand buff it a bit for massive amounts of cost reduction, but it's not too bad. The quick draw hand card, you know that one?
Oh, no.
Well, it looks like a hand in its quick draw.
Oh, the scary hand. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, I
yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
know that
It's a
one.
bit similar to that. The stats are worse, but you get obviously the Gigantifier,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have to be quick draw. So it's not too bad of baseline, but probably you need some sort of hand buff to really get this thing
Mm.
going.
Yeah, but there are some hand buff cards available, right? I've seen people play some type of hand buff DK already, so
Yeah,
maybe this could go in
could be
it
a
and
nice tool for it,
mm,
but wouldn't be general use, I don't think. But it's not too bad of a card, I'd say.
right. And what do you think? Do you like the 3 mana more, or do you think the Gigantify one's gonna be better? But you have to survive till turn 8.
I would say the 3 mana one is better generally, but don't underestimate the value that you get from the second one because grindy games, an 8/8 that discovers another minion, it's going to be a fine play when you're in like against a control deck or something, for
Mhm.
instance. So it's easy to just look at these Gigantify cards and say, "Oh, 8 mana 8/8, that's never playable." But in
Yeah.
some matchups, it's going to help you out a bunch.
Okay, just one more quick question. How good are undeads in general to discover? Is there
It
any ones that
depends.
you would be looking for or
Reska is like the best
yeah,
one usually. There's stuff like um the lifesteal guy, the no muncher,
no
is
monster, yeah.
pretty good. That the hound also pretty good
Hollow Hound,
sometimes.
yeah.
And otherwise, there's like some just general purpose ones that you can play. This could discover the hand, for instance. Then
Mhm.
you could discover another undead
Okay.
and chain it like that. That could be quite fun.
Right. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we can rate every card, score it on 5. Like, what's
Okay.
the rating? For me, this is a 2 out of 5 because there's too much text on it. I find it a bit too complicated. I don't want to have to read
Okay,
cards twice.
I'll give it a 3 out of 5. I think.
Okay. And next, another DK one, Foam Render, 5 mana, 5/1 weapon. Whenever you hear attack, spend 3 corpses to gain +1 durability.
Hmm.
Okay.
So another potential corpse spender for Rainbow DK
Mhm.
for their Necratic Explosion card. This
Yeah.
one is effectively infinite spending of corpses
Yeah.
in one card if you don't get frozen or vipered. A lot of damage potentially as well for face. So
Hmm. I mean, you do need to have 3 corpses ready every turn, or else you
yes,
can't hit.
yes, that is slightly awkward. But I suppose you'd build your deck in a way where
Mm.
that's possible. You probably get rid of some of the other corpse spenders if you want to go for this.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good enough personally compared to like the lifesteal weapon or
Mm.
the 1 mana spell that discovers the lifesteal weapon.
Yes.
And it's probably better to use those, I would say. This is a little expensive.
Yeah, I was just thinking 5 mana is quite a lot for
Yeah.
5/1. I mean, it's gonna gain durability, but still, you have to spend 5. Don't
Yes.
know. Okay. What do you think rating wise?
I am going to give this a 2. I think people are pretty hot on this card, but I think it's a bit overshadowed by the other stuff they have
Mm.
already.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a 2 as well, and we're just gonna move on. Helm of Humiliation, 4 mana. Give a minion a -5/-5. Give a minion in your hand +5/+5. But it's a double blood
Double
rune.
blood, yes.
So if you want it to work with that other minion, you'd have to play 1 green.
Yeah, 2 blood, 1 green. I think that can work for hand buff. I'm not
Mhm.
sure. There might be some cards that are excluded that are double green, but it can work. General purpose, it's not the best card, but if you're specifically looking to like hand buff a particular card, it could
Mm.
be quite strong, I think, because the difference with this compared to other removals of similar nature is that no matter what you use it on, you still get the
Yeah.
+5/+5. Some other ones, the opponent had to have a big minion for you to get a big buff, but this you can do it on anything on turn 4 and
Mm.
then set up for your future turns.
Yeah, it is a bit expensive though. I feel like
Yeah.
you have to spend 4 mana. If you do that in the early game, like on 4, you don't do anything else. You don't make your own board or anything.
Hmm.
You only remove 1 target.
Yeah, it's also a random minion, and it's only one minion, so you kind of want to be playing very few minions so that it lands on the
Yeah.
one you want. Um, I don't think it's like terrible though.
Is that, the 1/3 taunt spider, is that a double green
That
card?
is now nothing, I think.
Oh,
So
so you
can
can play with that would be nice, right? Because then
yeah
you got 3 minions for the price of 1,
yeah
buffed by +5/+5.
yeah. There's also the quill boar that was released during the expansion, which deals its damage at the end of turn. Also a good target. There's like Hollow Hound and stuff as well. Also a
Yeah,
good target.
true.
There are like there are pretty good targets for this, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is like actually all right. Even though like the text itself and the
Mm,
mana isn't super attractive,
yeah.
the synergy is quite strong.
Yeah, I think, like, looking at it, it's not, like, a mega exciting card, I'd say. I think it's probably good, but it's not like I see this card and I'm like, "Oh my god, I wanna build a deck around this," because I don't know. Maybe just because it's not my play style, but for me, it's, like, probably good. Do I wanna play it?
Okay,
No. But
what are you gonna give it?
I 2.5?
Two and a
Kinda
half.
loud.
Maybe 2.5
I don't know.
already. Third
I
card
don't
in.
wanna really give it a 3, but also I think 2 is not enough.
Okay.
So I want I want to say 2.5, but if I have to choose, I'll give it a 3 if the
Okay.
halves are not allowed.
All right. I'll give it a 3 as well because I don't think it's mega strong, but I really want this archetype to succeed.
Oh, so you do want it. I don't want it,
I
but
do want it.
okay, go for it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so moving on to the next class, which is gonna be Demon Hunter.
Right.
Okay. Do I
Am I reading it?
oh, do
Okay.
I have to read them all?
Okay. All right. We clearly didn't discuss this before starting. Return policy. Discover a friendly death rattle card. You've played this game. Trigger its death rattle. A very, very similar card text to Nine Lives, if you remember that card in Hunter from a
I
long time
do
ago.
not.
It's almost identical, but the difference is this is a friendly card
Yeah.
that you've played this game. The other one it had to be a minion that died. So this can
Oh,
work on weapons, and
right.
you just have to have played the card. You don't necessarily need to have triggered the death rattle. So the main one you'd use this for would probably be the umpire's grasp or whatever it's called.
Oh,
The
yeah, the one in the shopper DH.
yeah yeah,
Hmm.
and you can get more shoppers potentially, but currently
Right.
that deck only runs 2 demons. So if you were to repeat it, you'd probably have to put some more in,
Yeah.
like abyssal basis potentially.
Yeah, I remember we had a look at other demons we could include into the list, and there weren't that many. Magterodon,
Yeah, you could put
maybe.
Egg maybe as another demon,
Mm,
but like you are kind of weakening that first swing of the weapon
yeah,
because you might not get the window shopper just for like some additional value.
yeah.
And I could see that not being worth it to be honest, in the long run. But there is some room for some experimentation in sort of a more value centric
Mm.
demon hunter deck, and this would probably go in that.
What about Highlander Demon Hunter?
Yeah, they could play it too.
Yeah, that's the only archetype I want to play, to be honest. So I'm just saying, just thinking, can we include it or not? Okay, I'm gonna rate this a 3. I think is pretty good value.
Okay, I think I'll give it a 2 just because I'm not really sure it's the direction that Dex wants to go, and it might
Mm.
want to just be more aggro than to more
All right.
value.
Okay, next.
Sock Puppet Sliver Spear. This is a 1 mana 1/3 Naga. This minion's attack is improved by your heroes. Now the card text on this is a little ambiguous.
Mm-hmm.
The way this works, when you gain attack as your hero,
Yeah.
this gains attack, and at the
Yeah.
end of your turn, it goes back down to 1.
Okay. So it's only during your turn and it doesn't stay buffed during opponent's turns.
True.
So you want to have this on the board the turn, like you want to play it and then you want to still have it on the board next the turn after when your hero attacks, because otherwise this can't attack if you play it on the same turn.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
has to survive a turn.
Yes. I mean, it's a 1-drop, pretty aggressive 1-drop. You can take a lot of face damage from this thing. There's a
Yeah.
bunch of ways to buff attack for Demon Hunter, so.
Yeah.
And it's 1 mana Naga, so potential for Nag Demon
I
Hunter.
was just thinking that, and I was thinking that's not something I would want to see.
Yeah, same actually. Maybe we shouldn't talk about that too much, but
Yeah, because the past few days I've seen a comeback, a rise in Naga DH on ladder, and I was not enjoying it. And this card actually goes really well into that deck, I
yeah.
think.
There's actually only one mana Naga right now.
Hmm.
And with this, you're doubling the pool effectively. So they're gonna
Yeah.
very much love that. And I think it's a pretty strong card on its own. If
Mm.
they leave it up, that you can potentially
Yeah.
take so much damage with like
Yeah,
momentums
it's
and
a
stuff.
very scary. This is a
Yeah,
very scary card. I'm gonna rate it 4, I think.
yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. I think it'll go into most Demon Hunter
Hmm.
archetypes. I'll give it
Yeah.
a 4 as well.
Okay. Hey, we agree. Next.
Gibbering Reject. 4 mana 3/3 demon. After your hero attacks, summon another Gibbering Reject.
Okay.
So another demon for the Window Shopper pool. So you're less likely now to get Magtheridon, which I would say this card is definitely weaker than Mag, so
Yeah.
probably a slight nerf to Window Shopper. It's not the worst one to get because there are some awful ones out there. This is like quite a bit of board presence potentially.
Potentially, but also it's a 4 mana 3/3. I don't know. I feel like the stats are a little bit weak.
Yeah, of this one, but like imagine you get the 6/5 version
Yeah,
of the
that
shopper
would be
or
better.
the 1/1 version.
Yeah.
You get a
1/1. Yeah.
what?
That's a bit like that Druid deck with the gibberlings.
Yeah, true, true. So it's important to note you won't copy the stats of them, and you
Mhm.
always summon a 3/3.
Yeah.
So it's particularly good off the 1/1 shopper because you're getting a
Mhm.
lot more value out of it.
Mhm.
Not as good out on the 6/5, but it's one you'll probably take from time to time. And it's got a good combo with going down swinging because you can fill up your whole board.
Oh yeah, with going down
Yeah.
swinging. That's true. That gives you lots of attacks if your opponent has a full board.
But I think I have to give it a 1 because I don't think any deck's gonna actually play it. It just
Yeah.
matters to discover.
I mean, but because it's a decent discover, maybe it could score a little higher. So I'd give it a 2.
Alright.
Okay, that was it for Demon Hunter. Next up is Druid.
Oh, we have our first legendary. Do you
Oh
wanna take
yeah.
Druid?
Toyranta's 6 mana legendary 7/7. Taunt elusive. Battle cry if you have 10 mana crystals, gain +7/+7. Okay. So when you have 10 mana, it's a 14/14. Taunt elusive.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. I wish it had charge.
Yes. That would've been much better, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's still pretty good, I guess. It's quite hard to deal with it for a lot of decks because it has elusive.
Yeah. I mean, some decks it's not so hard, but it's a threat for sure.
It's a threat for aggro-ish decks, maybe if you can ramp a little bit as the druid and you get this down early enough, then
Mhm.
like maybe they won't be able to deal with it and might have a bit more chances of surviving.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure in which deck you'd want to play it right now because there's only like
I
one or
I
two
think
viable
I
decks.
think it's looking right now like it's a Highlander card. It's
Mm,
just sort of another top end tool. It's not like the worst on 6 if you have to survive, maybe.
yeah.
It's like it still gets the taunt elusive 7/7, so it's something. Um, and it's another threat against like a slower deck. They have to deal with it, otherwise they're
Mm.
gonna take too much face damage.
Yeah, sure. I don't think it's terrible.
It's not fantastic though.
No, because also the problem is like if you want to play it in Highlander Druid, most of the minions are dragons, and then you have a beast with it, and it doesn't look that good.
Mm, that's true.
It's
And there's not that much ramp for Druid right
Yeah.
now, not good ramp at least. So getting to the 10 is harder than you think.
Yeah.
So I would give this a 2.
Yeah, I agree with the 2.
All right, two Rantus. Let's go to the next one.
Overgrown Beanstalk. 3 mana spell. Summon a 2/2 Treant. Draw a card for each Treant you control. Are there many Treant cards in Standard right now? I haven't seen any Treant decks on ladder.
No, they
So
fizzled a bit out. There are still Treant Synergy cards. There's the 8 mana spell that gets reduced for each Treant you've played
yeah.
+2/+2. That's still in the game. There's still the 1 mana one that if you wait 2 turns, it summons 2/2/2s. And there's
Yeah.
still the one that adds 2 Treants to your hand. So potentially, you could draw like 3+ cards with this fairly easy on turn 4 or 5.
Is it that easy though?
I mean, if you have just the summon card and this, the summon card, you kind of have to wait till turn 3 for it to activate
Mm.
anyway. So it's not too hard to just hold it for this. It's draw 3 and summon 3/2/2s.
Yeah, but what else do you put in the deck? It doesn't really go with the other cards that
Right.
Druid has.
Well, you could be a Treant exclusive deck. That's
With the
reasonable.
3 Treant cards they have right now.
Yes. Or there's another application. You could play this in a spell combo deck because it's quite good cycle, and all you have
Okay.
to do include is a 1 mana card, which could help you against aggro anyway. And it doubles up as card draw. So
Right. So it could be like the hero power Druid, just removing the dragon synergy and putting in Treants or something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
something like that, or some sort of combo decks with ANR and things like that that needs to cycle a bit to
Mm.
find their ramp, find their combos. This could work in that as well in some worlds. So I actually think it's not a bad card at all. It's a little uninspired. We've had so many cards like this,
Yes.
it feels like, but I will give this a 3, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 2 simply because I feel like Treant had its days. It's over. It's I feel like we just I'd be nice to have some other archetypes in Druid. So 2, don't think I will want to play it. Then the next one, Snuggle Teddy. 3 mana, 2/4, Gigantify, Elusive Lifesteal Taunt.
Mm,
Okay, so we got a 3 mana, 2/4, and an 8 mana, 8/8.
yes, with
Elusive Lifesteal
Lifesteal
Taunt.
Taunt. So, quite nice to have Elusive and Lifesteal on Taunt. Potentially really good stabilization tool.
Mm,
Again, might just be like a Highlander
yeah.
card. The the first copy's not that great.
No, 2/4 stat are a bit weak, I think, compared to other
Yeah,
cards in the game right now.
but it's also not that bad. It'd probably gain you some life, deal a bit with the
Mm,
board a bit.
yeah, bit.
I think it's all right.
For me, I'm thinking between 2 and 3 again, but
Yeah.
since we're not doing halves, I have to decide if it's more a 2 or a 3. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt and give it a 3.
Okay. Just because it's a bear.
Yeah.
All right. I'll give it a 2.
Okay.
I think Highlander will probably give it a go. But like you say, it's not a dragon, so it's a bit weird.
Yeah. Okay, so that was it for Druid cards. Moving on to Hunter.
Ooh.
Here's your
Product 9.
legendary.
5 mana, 4/4 mech beast. Battle cry recast every friendly secret that triggers this game. There are a bunch of secret synergies. There's a
Mm,
new secret also in this mini set, which we'll get
okay.
to in a minute. Pretty powerful, I think. Generally, the only great secret right now is hidden meaning,
Yeah.
but you could include some more, and you also have the forge card, which also
Mm,
would work with
yeah.
this.
Yeah, there's definitely lots of secrets in standard right now. I think most of them are not that strong though.
Mm.
So I don't know if do you really want to like build your deck around it and just have like a bunch of secret synergy? Do you think that's like strong enough?
Potentially, yeah. There's still a fair amount of secret synergy stuff, and I think this card is quite strong.
Mm,
Uh, it's a lot of value. It's like you plop it down, and it could do a lot of things, and it suddenly makes all those other secrets that you can't about playing
yeah.
quite good. Because if this can cast 3 to 4 secrets every time you play it, that's pretty good. There's also like the egg, which could give you multiple copies of this.
Yeah.
There's stuff
Okay.
you can do with it.
Right.
Also, I think a Highlander Hunter could play that quite easily.
Yeah, I could see this in a Highlander Hunter because they usually already like run one or two secrets plus the forging
Mm.
traps or what it's called. So I could see that, yeah. Personally, just never a big fan of Secret Hunter archetypes, so not mega hyped about it. But I'm gonna give it a 3 because I do think it's a pretty good card. Just maybe wish we had some stronger secrets.
Okay, I'll give it a 4, I think. I think that the next secret is quite strong also.
Okay, maybe I just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look.
Bargain bin. After your opponent plays a minion, spell, or weapon, draw a card of the other two types. So if they
Okay,
play a minion, then you'll draw a spell and a weapon.
all right.
So very easy for this to activate because your opponent pretty much
Mhm.
always plays one of the three on their turn.
Yeah.
So pretty much draws two every time. Pretty nice. You can draw the secret discount weapon,
Hmm.
which has a synergy for having played this. And I think it's pretty good value.
Yeah, it looks more like a value card. Like opponent doesn't have to play around it because it doesn't really affect the opponent's minions
Hmm.
or the opponent's turn that much, which I is usually what I like about Hunter Secrets is that like you have to either be careful trading or like hitting face or something because it affects your board and your life total, and this one doesn't really.
Right.
So it's a bit less aggressive than the other secrets, I think.
It is definitely like this is one of the few Hunter secrets that don't affect
Yeah.
tempo. It's just a value one only. But I think the fact that it triggers like almost guaranteed makes it quite good because some secrets in the past like
Mm.
this, like double cross from Rogue when they had it,
Yeah.
you play it and it's good when they draw of it, but if your opponent knows you've got it,
Mm.
they
Yeah.
tend to just play around it and then you sat there with nothing. And it can get recast by the subject.
True. Yeah, it's a good cycle, I guess. I'd give it a 3 again.
Okay. I will give it a 4. I like that a lot.
I know you were gonna go for the 4. One more hunter card, I guess.
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Wilderness Pack. There's 3 pack cards in the whole set. This is the
Mm,
first of them. Add 5 random beasts to your hand at the end of your turn. Discard them.
okay, not a card you play on one.
Not you, a card you play on one twice. Let's say. Uh, but yeah, I'm sure some people will.
If they don't read it, the
Yeah.
end of the turn part, they might be in for a surprise. I think that's pretty fun. I like some random in
Mm,
Hearthstone. You just have to make sure you play it in the late game, probably turn 8, 9, 10, to make sure you get some
yes.
value out of it.
The random beasts, there are a lot of crap ones, let's
Yeah.
say, and expensive ones. So, like you said, you've
Yes.
got to play it quite late for this card to really pop off. Or, I guess if you've got a dead turn, you can do it on turn
Mm,
3. Hope there's like a 2 mana one.
yeah.
But I don't think Hunter needs this generally. Um, might be just for a fun card, but I think you can be a bit more efficient with Hunter than this.
But
It's more like a value card that doesn't really fit the current Hunter archetypes, I'd say.
right. But maybe it's fun if you can discover it in some way. Maybe other classes can discover it as
Like,
well.
yeah,
Rogue,
Rogue,
probably.
Rogue can definitely discover this.
Yeah, so then you get a lot of value. Plus you can test it.
Yes, that's true. It would be very nice in a test deck.
Mm.
But for Hunter, I don't think they really want to run it. You could probably throw it into your Highlander deck, and it's not the worst thing in the world. But
I feel like every time we have like some questionable cards, we're just like, oh, you can throw it into a Highlander
yeah,
deck.
yeah, that's the beauty
And
of
that's it.
Highlander decks. You can get away with playing bad cards
Mhm.
and just have fun with it.
Yeah, it's a bit unlucky or unfortunate that Hunter doesn't really need this because this is a type of card that I would really enjoy, like
Hmm.
bit of random, like a little random aspect, but
Well, you
yeah.
can play it in your deck. I'm sure it's not completely terrible. I think that is it for Hunter.
Okay, so we are moving on. Oh wait, we didn't rate it yet, did we?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 1.
Okay, I'll give it a 2. I'm a little bit more hopeful.
Okay, yes.
Okay, next class is going to be where are we? Mage.
Mm.
Okay, so we have Dark Moon Magician, 3 mana, 2/4. Elusive, after you cast a spell, cast a random spell that costs 1 more. This is another random
Yes,
thing.
it's very random.
I like random. So, and it's elusive, so the spells can't hit this minion.
Yeah, I really like that part of it.
That's good, yeah. Yeah, I think I want to play this. I'm not sure in what type of deck. I guess it has to be in like a Sith Mage type of deck or something like that because you can't run it in the no minion mage, obviously.
Right. You can't run it in the No Minion Mage, but they
Mm.
do have the 4 mana spell which discovers 2 3-drops.
Oh,
So this is one that if you see it, you probably pick it pretty often.
yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. So even if you can't quite find a deck for it, it
Yeah.
will still pop up
Mm.
in a lot of games. But yeah, it would be kind of like a Sith Mage if you really wanted to hard run this.
Yeah.
You would probably want like smaller spells generally, but playing this alongside like one big spell later on
Mm.
might still be quite a lot of value.
Yeah, you just need to make sure you have enough mana to combo it, like,
Yeah.
because this is already 3.
Plus, it's a card they kind of need to kill, and it's got elusive, right? You
Mm.
just plop it on the board, and
Yeah.
then they can't target it.
Yeah, I mean, you could drop it on 3 or
Yeah,
even on 2 if you coin it out. Most
and it
most decks might not have a way of dealing with it unless you're
exactly.
behind already.
And then you just follow up with spells, and then
Yeah,
hopefully snowball a little bit, and it could be quite strong.
I like this one. I'm gonna rate it a 3. I don't know how good it is because random spells can backfire,
Right.
obviously, but it's something I want to try out, so I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay. I was leaning between a 3 and a 4.
Oh, you want that 3.5 now, do you?
I'm gonna go 3,
Okay.
but I would. This is the kind of card that wouldn't surprise me. It surprises everyone how strong it actually
Hmm.
is. People might be sleeping on this one a little bit.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try it out
All right.
next week, Insta. Next, buy one, get one freeze. Freeze a minion, summon a frozen copy of it. 3 mana spell. Um, Pretty decent, I guess. It depends a bit on what you freeze. If
Yeah.
it's like something with a death rattle or like a strong minion that you want the effect of as well.
So yeah, the immediate comparison would be reverberations to this
Mhm.
card. They're both 3 mana, both copy something.
Yeah,
This one freezes it. Reverb makes it like 1 health.
yeah,
So different applications. Reverb's generally a bit stronger, but there's one thing for this that um it has going for it, which is the frost spell.
yes,
And there is a 4/4 that draws a frost spell at the end of your turn and reduces its cost.
yeah.
So I think this will probably see play in Sith Mage as a way to copy Sith.
Oh, right. Because you can
Yeah,
copy it for 0 if you draw
yeah,
it early enough.
yeah.
So then don't need to reverb it for 3.
Exactly, and then it's
Oh,
way easier to OTK. So since they nerfed the Miracle Salesman, Sith Mage
yeah.
has kind of disappeared a bit. I think this
Mhm.
could make it come back. Um, it,
People are going to be so happy about that.
yeah, yeah. I think it's quite likely you'll run 2 copies of the 4/4, 2 Frostbolts, and 2 of these
Mm,
in your deck, and you'll just use that to OTK people.
yeah.
Outside of that, it might be a decent discover sometimes, but I don't think it's going to really replace Reverb in any other decks.
Okay, so you only can really run it in a Sith
I
mage
think
then?
so, but I think it will probably be a staple
Yeah.
in my deck. Just to, it's so much easier to kill people.
But do you still run reverbs as well, or do you?
I think you probably cut Reverb.
Okay.
It's not really that great. If you're running this anyway,
Mm,
sometimes you'll just use this to freeze a big guy or something like that.
yeah, sure. Can see it. I'm gonna give this a 3. I
Okay.
wasn't sure. I was
Okay.
hesitating a bit, but I like what you said there about copying the Civ, but it's still a bit situational because you still need to be able to draw it off that 4
Right.
mana guy,
Yeah.
and you usually also run Frostbolt or like some other frost spell, so it's not
Yeah.
guaranteed.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give it a 4. I think it could just reignite that archetype.
Okay. Well, we'll have to see next week. Okay, and the last mage card, Malfunction. 2 mana, arcane spell, deal 3 damage, split along all enemy minions. If your deck has no minions, deal 3 more. So this goes in the no minion mage. It costs 2 mana and deals 6 damage
Spread
among
it, spread.
all enemy
Yeah.
minions. That is very good because that's what Mage has been lacking a little bit
Mm,
in that no minion Mage, because I tried it and I feel like I was so weak to aggro-ish or
yeah.
board decks. And if you have this, like for example, if you're against like a Flood Paladin, you clear their whole board on 2 for 2 mana.
Yeah.
Same with the Hunter.
Or on turn 4 for 2
Yeah,
mana, you clear the whole board.
yeah.
It's a lot of damage
I think this is a very good
and
card.
spread. Like, do you remember like Minefield in Warrior?
Yeah.
That dealt 5,
Yes.
and it was to the whole board, not just your
Hmm.
opponent's. This is more damage and only to your opponent's board, so
Yeah. This is very good.
it's really strong, this card, I think.
Hey, we agree.
Yes, I think I want to give this a 5. The only thing I want to say is like Spell Mage isn't very strong right
Yeah,
now. This is going to be a very, very strong card in that deck, but the archetype still might not be super
true.
insane, but it will help a lot, I think.
And it will help, yes. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay.
Okay, that was it for Mage. So next up we got a Paladin. Here we go.
Whack and Null. 1 mana, discover Paladin weapon from the past, give it +1/+1. Can't discover Whack and Null Hammer, which is a Shaman card, which I feel
Yeah.
like I don't know if they changed the class on this while they were making it or something.
It instantly reminded me of the Wackenol Shaman weapon when I
Yeah,
read this, and I was like, hey, wait, we're a Paladin now.
yeah.
Are there any really good Paladin weapons from the past?
There's some like all right ones. The one that the 3 mana one that gives you a Murloc whenever you attack is pretty nice.
Yeah,
Murloc
that's
Angling
an
Rod, I
old
think
one,
it was
yeah.
called. Generally, most are a bit wonky with the stats
Yeah.
for modern hearthstone. If you give them +1/+1, suddenly they're fine. You got like 2 mana, 3/3 weapons and stuff.
Mm,
There's some really expensive ones, which generally you're gonna avoid most of the time.
yeah.
But if we think of the Demon Hunter, the Death Knight card that's similar to this,
Yeah,
that's a very strong card, but
it is.
it's got a much better weapon
It
pool.
does, yeah.
But that card you never could play on 1 to get the
Yeah.
+1/+1. This
This
one
one
you
you
can play on
can,
1.
yeah. In which type of deck do you think this goes? Because I don't think it goes in the current Flood Paladin.
Yeah, it could go in that for some reach potentially, but maybe not. Um, it can't really go in the Handbuff Paladin because
No.
it's not a minion, and they already spend their time swinging the other weapon, so it doesn't go in that.
I feel like we're gonna say
Oh,
Highlander
you're gonna
again.
say it. Highlander Paladin. I I do think this has potential also for the aggressive Paladin as well.
Okay,
That you could play this. Because it does represent a lot of face damage. Like if you get like a 4 attack weapon with 3
right.
to 4 durability, that is a lot of face. So I think it's better than people might think this one, particularly because you can just play it on 1. There's a fair amount of low cost ones you can discover.
Yeah, but the thing is, do you not just want to start playing minions on one when you are the aggressive paladin? Do you really want to spend your first turn discovering a weapon that you might not
Yeah.
be able to play the turn after anyway?
Yeah, that's a fair point. They do have boogie down as well though, so
Hmm.
you could spend the early turns with the weapon and boogie on 4 and then get your whole
Yeah,
board that way. I can see
true.
it being good, and it's a good late game card because like when you're off board with the pally, it's really hard to close out that
That's
last lot
true.
of damage, and this could be a really good way of doing that.
Right. I'll give it a try probably anyway because I like discovering stuff from the past, like for the just the nostalgia
Yeah,
factor.
yeah,
Don't know how good it is. Gonna give it a 3, I think, just like somewhere in the middle.
yeah. I think 3 is fine. I think it would probably be pretty decent. It can't go in every pally.
Okay. Well, next up.
Flickering Light Bot, 3 mana, 3/3 mech. Gigantify, costs 1 less for each holy spell you've cast this game. So
Okay.
if you've played a bunch, potentially this is a 0 mana 3/3
Yeah.
that gives you a
And
discounted 8/8. So if you played
so
8, they'd both be 0.
yeah. So when if you play this, for example, after you've already played like 3 holy spells, so this would be free.
Yeah.
Would the Gigantify minion already be 5?
Yes.
It would be, okay.
Yes. Which is pretty nice.
That is pretty good, yeah.
The one downside is that there isn't a lot of holy spells,
Yeah,
and most of them are fairly expensive, so it's not super easy to spam them. There's no like holy Mackie roll where you can just,
true.
or there's no Libram of Wisdom.
But maybe they'll introduce more holy spells with the new
Right,
set, for example, to like just make it more viable. Because right now, when I think about the Paladin decks I play, there is maybe like 2 or 3 holy spells in
right,
them, so it wouldn't really discount the the big minion that much.
exactly. Um, so it's very very powerful text, but the synergy might not be there, and who knows if it will get there. You can
Yeah.
try and build around it because it's pretty nice to drop a 0 mana 3/3 that gives you some more value
Mm,
also. Um, there is a new holy spell which we'll see in a sec,
okay.
but I'm not sure this card has a home right now.
Yeah, I was just thinking that it doesn't go in the current flood paladins because there's not enough holy spells in them.
Right,
Um, I think if you play Highlander, you might not have enough holy spells because you only run one-offs.
right.
And
That's true.
then what do we have? Hand buff. It could go in hand buff, maybe.
I don't think so.
Not enough holy
They
spells.
they generally try and run as many minions as they
Yeah,
can.
okay.
So they,
So at the moment, there is not really anything in the
yeah,
deck for
it'd
it.
have to be like a holy centric deck, but I don't know. I'll give this a 2, I think,
Yeah.
for now, but it could be bigger picture in the future, very strong.
Okay, I'll give it a 2 as well. And moving on.
We have a holy spell, actually.
Oh,
Holy Glow Sticks, 4 mana at lifesteal, deal 4 damage. Cost 1 less if you've cast a holy spell this turn.
okay.
This can go face.
Lifesteal 4 damage for 1 mana because
Yes.
you're probably gonna combo it.
Probably.
That's not bad.
That isn't bad, but you
It doesn't
can't.
really feel paladin-y for some reason.
No, not so much. Feels more priesty,
Yeah.
I would say, or something. Or shamany, maybe.
Yeah, it reminds me a bit of that Shadow Priest spell, the four deal 4 lifesteal.
You know, it is exactly the same card, except it's sometimes cheaper.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So this has the potential to play more holy spells.
Yeah, but still only 1 spell or 2 if you run a copy of it.
You're right. And
So is it enough?
yeah, the holy spells that you play now, Hand of a Dull,
Hmm.
it's all right with if you're on turn 3.
Yeah.
You could maybe be good with that.
Can go with the aura also.
Yeah, Aura is also fine. Boogie Down, not so great because you want to finale the Boogie Down.
Yeah.
Um,
You have that the other aura. Is that also a holy spell
yeah,
that we don't play anymore? But
it's been
it,
nerfed a bit, so
yeah.
yeah. It's not a bad effect, but it might be again the case you need more holy spells for
Mm,
it to see play.
yeah.
I don't think it's quite there personally, but I'm sure people will experiment with it. I'll give this a 2 as well.
Same. 2. We'll need to see if there's more holy spells later. That was it for paladin, and we are moving on to priest. Here we go. Delayed product. 4 mana. Discover and summon a minion that costs 8 or more. It goes dormant for 2 turns. I think this card in itself is actually pretty good
Hmm.
because you summon an 8 drop and it will be on the board like on turn 6
Right.
if you play it on 4. So you still get it like 2 turns before you'd actually play it. But where does it go?
That's a good question.
At the moment, the only viable priest deck is Zarimi,
Yes,
and I don't think Zarimi wants to play this.
probably not. I mean, one thing you could do with Zarimi is you play this, and then when it wakes up, you drop the Zarimi, and you get the extra turn, and you get to attack with the
Yeah,
thing that woke up as
but
well.
you need to time it pretty well because
Right.
Zarimi is nerfed, and you need to play 8 dragons now.
Yeah. Mm, it's also the pool of 8 or more minions isn't fantastic. There's a
Ragnaros.
Rag's good, yes. That's one of the higher rolls, but there's like a bunch of like neutral 8/8s with no text and stuff.
Right. Yeah,
Uh,
I'm just thinking about some of the 8 drops that you summon when you're Highlander warrior with the reward. So
yes.
you get Ragnaros. Also, the Mosher is pretty good,
Yep.
and that other card that when you attack,
Yeah.
it brings a
Yeah.
minion to your hand. But those are like the ones I
They're all
can
good
think
ones,
of. Yeah.
yes. Yeah. There's some whiffs as
Mm,
well. But it is a discover, so you get to choose. And
yeah.
the warrior one doesn't whiff that much, so
Mm. I like the card in itself. I'm just not sure where it goes right now. There is not really. a Highlander priest around right now.
No.
So do you think there could be?
I think it doesn't really solve Highlander Priest problem, which is it's not got great removal
Yeah.
right now for like early minions and stuff, and it's not got great value. Um,
So probably
you
not.
could fling it in there, I suppose. And if there is not like the worst card. There's also potential for like big priests because there's some big priest cards they brought back.
Mm,
This could go in as like some middle game before you get to
yeah.
like your actual minions you put in your deck.
Yeah. So basically we just need a new priest archetype to put this in.
Yeah, I think fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 3 because I like the card, but we're waiting for a good deck for it, maybe.
Okay, I'll give it a 2.
Okay. Lots of 2s from you.
Yeah.
Okay, next. Funhouse Mirror. 3 mana. Summon a copy of an enemy minion. It attacks the original.
Mm.
And it's a shadow spell.
Yes.
Uh, I mean, it's a decent way to remove like a single minion.
Kinda. If it's got it's to me it's the light it burns, but for 3 mana
Yeah.
a lot of the time. If you're trying to actually kill something, it is that. There are other times it's a bit better where they've got like a Titan or
Yeah.
um
But then you still need something on top of this to clear off their minion.
yeah, I mean you'd probably use the Titan ability to do that, I
Mm.
guess. Um yeah. I don't think it's that great. If they've got like I don't know, let's say a 4/6
Yeah.
and you use it, you both have 4/2s, but can you deal with the rest of their 4/2? Maybe not, and maybe they can just deal with yours quite easily and still push the damage. So for me, it feels just like worse the lighter burns, and it's
Right.
not quite good enough removal um, to bring like Highlander Priest back, I think, or a slow control
Mm.
priest.
Yeah.
Probably makes the cut in Highlander Priest, but it's not going to be a really good card.
No. I mean, it probably works nicely when you copy like a death rattle minion or something with an
Right.
effect. But then obviously you still have to deal with what your opponent has on the board, but then at least you have something to contest it.
Yes.
But yeah, probably not great. I'm gonna give it 2.
Okay. Two. I'm gonna give it a 2/1. I'll give it 1.
A 1, okay.
Yeah.
Can't be too optimistic about priest
Well, last
cards.
time we said I gave too many 2s, so I'm giving this one a 1.
Okay, next one. Puppet Theater. It's a location, 4 mana location. Choose an enemy minion. Get a 1/1 copy of it that costs 1. So basically, Priest in this mini set got 3 copy minion cards
They did.
that don't really go
Cards.
anywhere.
Well, this will probably go in the Highlander Priest. It's it's kind of like a card. I know I'm saying it again. It's a card where if your opponent's got like a big bomb, Bran, for instance,
Yeah,
and your opponent's got this ready to go, you can copy the Bran and steal the Bran, play
true.
it,
Yeah,
or boom
that's
boss,
funny.
stuff like this.
Right.
It's very good against other late game decks. It's very poor against aggro,
Yeah.
but against other late game decks, it can do a lot of work, I think.
Right. But the problem we're having with the Highlander Priest right now is that it is weak against aggro decks already, so
Yes.
this doesn't really help it.
No, but I think it's a good tool for their late game. So even though it might not push it into viability,
Mm.
once they get those removals, I think it will make the cut in the deck, and
Okay.
it'd be a good late game tool.
Yeah, I can see it. 1/1 copy. You basically don't copy it for the stats anyway. You just get it for the effect.
Yeah,
I give it a 3.
yeah, I think three's reasonable.
Okay. You also giving it a 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have Rogue.
Oh, Rogue. Twisted Pack. Add 5 random cards from other classes to your hand. At the end of your turn, discard them. So, if you like
Oh,
random,
fun.
here's
Yes.
some random that you can replay with Tess.
The problem is I like random, but when it's rogue, I don't really. I
Uh,
never play burglar rogue or test rogue or anything like that. But I mean, this goes really well with it.
yeah, I could see this in the weapon rogue with the lifesteal weapon.
Yeah,
It can
yeah,
add a lot of durability to that potentially.
true. It's just very weak to Viper decks.
Yes, yes.
I've tried it on ladder and I just keep getting Vipered.
Hmm.
Okay.
This is not the sort of card you want in Excavate Rogue because they already
Mm,
have very large hand sizes, so
yeah,
you're not really going to be able to have the room
I
for
was just
this.
thinking that, but you already have that Excavate reward that fills up your hand, and you're gonna bounce that quite often.
Right.
So yeah,
Um, the Giants Rogue, remember with the Gaslight
yeah.
Gravedigger? This would have been very good in that.
Do you
Add
think that it can still be viable, or did it get nerfed too hard?
might have been nasty hard. Like 5 mana combo might be too much,
Mm.
but it would be pretty nice for it. Turn 5 pay this and the thing. You get to keep the cards in your deck
Mm.
as well, I suppose, but you're very likely to find uh yourself with 10 cards when
Mm.
you spin it. So some application there maybe. But
Yeah, I think overall I like the card. As you know, I like random stuff. I think it can go in like a Burgle or a Test Rogue without Excavate package,
yeah.
or the weapon one if you want to risk that. Yeah.
It's just the awkward thing of this card is like when do you play it? Because you can't play it on one.
No, you can't play it on one.
You have to.
Plus it could be like any card. You have no idea. Like you
Mhm.
can't even like try and figure out how much on average it's gonna cost. So
But they're all class cards, right?
yeah,
And class cards are generally quite strong, and you have 5 to choose from. So
yeah,
it's pretty likely to actually give you something decent, I think.
yeah. I think you have to wait till like turn 7, 8, 9, 10. I wouldn't really play it earlier than that because you risk maybe not having anything good from it.
Yeah, 10-5 plus, I'd
Yeah,
say. But I think that's fine for a card like this.
yeah,
I think this is the best of the packs, and this one could see play. I think I'll give it a 3.
yeah. I'll give it 3 as well.
Dubious Purchase. 4 mana, draw 3 cards, combo destroy a random enemy minion. So pretty powerful card draw for Rogue. It's expensive, but
Can prep it.
can prep it. It's very good to prep this thing.
Yeah,
Uh, and destroying a random enemy minion also pretty nice. You can
yeah,
very easily as Rogue deal with some small minions and just like isolate
yeah.
a big one and hit them with this pretty often.
Yeah, I like this one. I think it's pretty good in Rogue. Do you think it goes in the Excavate Rogue or
No.
in another type of?
The Excavate Rogue already got big hand size and they're generally decent for value. It needs to be a different sort of Rogue, I think, where they're maybe more higher tempo stuff
Mm,
coming down, or a combo Rogue where they really care about finding the combo pieces.
it could go into that Weapon Rogue again.
Hmm.
And then if opponents try to counter it with a taunt, you can just combo this out and taunt
Yeah,
them.
and find more deadly poisons and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it in that. I just don't think Excavate would run 2 copies of this. Maybe they could run 1 though,
Mm,
and it'd be fine. 4 mana is quite a lot, and there are a lot of uses for prep in that deck, so
mm.
you won't often have a prep all the time for it. But I think I'll give it a 3. I think
Yeah, same.
some decks will play
I
it.
think it's a decent card. Okay, last Rogue card.
Dust Bunny. Battlecry and Deathrow add a random piece of junk to your hand.
What?
3 mana 3/2b. So you get a coin, rock, banana, or knife. So coin and banana are obvious ones. The
Yes.
rock is from the excavate reward,
Yeah,
so
the
it's
deal
one
3.
deal 3. And the knife is your hero power, but for 1 mana.
Okay. For the 3 mana though.
Yeah, you get 2 of them. I think getting a coin or a rock are quite good.
Yes.
You probably pay 3 mana for 2
I think
coins.
it's a fun card.
Yeah,
It's pretty fun. Get like a tiny value-y thing,
yeah,
not insane. Yeah, I think it's fine, but it's just again, I'm like thinking in which deck you want to run it.
right. Could be excavate
Yeah,
because
do
the
you really want to like the excavate deck as it is quite good already. Like, is there anything you want to remove to add
yeah,
this?
it's like 80% of a good deck, but there's definitely some cards which you could throw in
Okay.
other stuff for sure. You could try this one. I think it's all right. Uh, it's just an all right minion. I think
Yeah, I
could
think
go in
it's
some
fun.
decks.
I think it's good that it's Battlecry and Death Rattle because if it only was one of the two, maybe it would been a bit weak.
Mm-hmm.
But because you get two things like in the early game, it's fine. I'm gonna give it a 3.
Yeah, I'll go with 3.
Okay,
I think getting the rock also good with Sonya. You do a lot of burst maybe.
true. Yeah, we're agreeing quite a lot. Okay, that was it for Rogue. Shaman now. Marilla Growfin, 1 mana, 1/1, and Gigantify. Battle Cry, summon a tiny fin with rush and stats equal to this minion's. So on 1, you'd get a 1/1 with rush, and on 8, you'd get an 8/8 with rush.
Mm-hmm. And you could hand buff this and
Yeah.
maybe get more.
But I was just thinking, is there a lot of hand buff in Shaman right now?
There is not. But there is the 7 mana spell, which hand buffs the whole deck.
Right.
It works well with this. There's like Party Animal from neutrals that you could
Oh yeah,
also
that
run.
works, yeah.
But other than that, not too much hand buff. But it's a pretty good minion. 1 mana, 1/1. Part of it's got rush. And you get something for
Yeah,
later. Turn 8, you get 2 A8s, 1 with rush. That's not bad. You could also combo it with Shadow Block.
true.
And then the 8 mana one, you're going to summon
3.
3 A8 with rushes.
That's pretty
That is
good.
pretty. That's a huge board.
Yes, that's quite nice.
Uh,
Plus it's a Murloc, and I like Murlocs.
yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah,
A lot of applications. Maybe some potential flood shamany decks can just run it as stats.
yeah.
I'll give it 4.
Okay, I'll give it a 3.
Okay.
And the next one, Wave of Nostalgia, 5 mana spell, transform all minions into random legendary ones from the past. Nature spell. Wait, that sounds very fun.
Yes.
I don't know how good it is,
I'm excited to try
but
this
I
one.
want to try this out just because I want to see what everything evolves into. That's like the only reason.
Yeah. Does it to your opponent's minions too? It doesn't transform your hand, even though the text kind of suggests it might do.
Yeah, it's just on the board, I
It's
guess.
yeah, because I don't know. It's a lot of mana is
Yeah.
the concern, I'd say, of this.
But it's a nature spell, so you could combo it maybe. Like if you play
Flash.
Flash of Lightning and then the turn after it'll be a little bit discounted.
Yeah, and you can get the ones that summon the 2 frogs to
True.
build yourself a board very cheaply. That is a potential way
Yeah.
you can combo with this card.
I think like other classes can discover it too, right? Mage maybe can discover nature spells.
Yeah, they probably don't want to pick this one too
Rogue.
often.
No, but I'm just
Yeah.
thinking like other classes might have access to it as well in some way.
Yeah. Um, there's also Hagatha, so you can put this as a potential Hagatha spell
Mhm.
to draw it consistently if you want to. I'm excited to try it and evolve
Same.
Shaman out. I don't know how strong it's going to be. It doesn't strike me as a particularly strong card. Just it's
No.
so much mana.
It's just for fun, really. I think you
Yeah.
play this. Um, but what does Evolve Shaman look like actually? Is there any synergies or
I
parts
think
that go
it's with
together?
probably with like the previous card, you build it in a way where you have um this card maybe and the one that buffs your whole deck. That
Okay.
sort of thing.
I'll wait for you to build
I'll
it.
give it a go.
And then
There's
I'll
not I
try
don't
it.
I'm not too hopeful, but there might be something there. I'll give it this a 2 though, because
I'm gonna give it a 3 because I really want it to be at least decent.
okay.
But I'm gonna need to have a look at all the legendaries from the past. I know there's like lots of great ones, but lots of very like small stat ones
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a bit like high rolling probably. But I like it. Moving on. Rocket Hopper. Oh, I've seen this
Oh,
one.
it's a big boy.
5 mana, 10/10. Beast, Rush, Overload 4.
Hmm.
Is there a way to evolve into it?
Yeah, there's
So you
muck
dodge the
pools. There's
overload.
muck pools you could get.
Oh,
You can also summon it from the 7 mana shaman spell that makes a board. Uh
this is a bit like the Mukla in Hunter,
yes.
but you're overloaded instead of giving bananas.
Yeah, one cheaper as well.
Yeah, but it's like a similar vibe. 10/10 rush. Um.
There is overdrafts available,
Oh.
so you can turn the overload into an upside. 1 mana deal
Yeah.
4 afterwards on the next turn. There's also like a legendary that draws for how much you're overloaded
Yeah.
and unoverloads you. It doesn't curve quite well with that because if you play this on 5, you only have 2 mana on
Mm,
6, and the legendary costs 3. But I think this is strong in like an aggro shaman,
yeah.
which there are a few popping up with like some early one drops plus some buffs. I think this would slot
Okay.
into that deck pretty well.
Okay. So you don't play it in the previous deck we were talking about, like the
No,
Evolvey
I
one.
don't think so. I think it has to be like an aggro one, which
Okay.
cares about overdraft hitting face, that sort of thing.
I like it. I like this card a lot. I also like the artwork.
Mm,
Hope it's gonna be playable. I'm gonna give it a 3 again.
okay, I think it's all right. I'll give it a 3 too. I think
Yay.
it goes only in that deck though. I thought you would give it a 4.
Oh
Not
no,
safer.
because it is still like the stats are good, but like if you don't have overdraft or anything ready for it, you're gonna be overloaded for 4 on like turn 6, so you're like blocking
Yeah,
yourself out for a turn.
that's true.
So yeah,
It's a lot of stats though, and if they don't kill it, they can't die.
yeah. That's why I gave it a 3. Next we've got a Warlock.
Okay. Am I mass production? 1 mana, draw 2 cards, deal 3 damage to your hero, shuffle 2 copies of this into your deck.
Okay, that's a
1
lot
mana,
of text. I need to process it again.
1 mana, draw 2 cards. That is
Yeah.
that alone. That part seems very powerful.
Deal 3 is fine because either you take the damage and you heal later, or you have the weapon up and you heal insta.
Hmm.
Shuffle 2 copies of this into your deck.
Yeah. So there could be a situation you keep playing these, then your
Yeah.
deck's just full of these,
Yeah,
and
that's
you
what I was
just draw
thinking.
into more of them.
Yeah, and then you can't find your actual cards
Right, and
anymore.
every time you're taking 3 damage. So this is really good card the first time you play it, I think.
Yeah.
But like mega late game, it becomes quite a bit worse, I suppose.
You could try and combo it with fracking
Yeah.
and then like try and get rid
Oh
of
yeah, yeah.
these.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. 1 mana, draw 2.
I think it's
Very
I
good.
think it's a good card.
Yeah.
Like I think like I've been playing some fatigue warlock. I think it could go into it.
Yeah. That's
Cycling.
what that you have the weapon to negate
Yeah.
the damage.
Or the virtuoso and you are immune anyway during the turn.
Yeah. And maybe some other warlocks like handlock. They care about adding stuff to your hand. So
Yeah.
1 mana, draw 2 is really quite strong for that. It seems really quite a good card.
I think it is a good
I'm
card.
just I'm just thinking of the situations where your hand's just full of these, and you're trying to find other cards, and you just keep drawing into more of these.
Yeah, you need to find a way to get rid of these like in the late game when you've drawn
Mm.
enough cards. But also it makes you not die um to fatigue.
That's true, it
And
does.
also if your opponent shuffles bombs into your deck, they can just hit these
Well,
cards instead.
and bomb yourself anyway, dealing 3. Yeah, that's true. Um,
I mean, if these get bombed, you don't take the damage, do you?
no, 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 but I mean, like, every time you play it, you
Yeah,
take
yeah.
3.
I mean, I wouldn't play it all the time, but
Yeah.
more like as a way
Yeah.
to avoid dying to fatigue or getting your deck bombed by warrior.
I mean, generally, it's an upside it shuffles in, I think, to begin with, because you'd want to get more of them in your deck
Yeah,
to draw more of your deck. It just after a very long time, it becomes a downside, I think,
yeah,
but that time's probably a long way away.
yeah,
So I think it's good.
yeah. I think it's good too. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Yeah, I'll give it 4 too. I think a lot of Warlocks would like to play this.
Okay, and next one.
Maybe not Sludge Lock because it reorders the deck.
Yeah, no, no, not sludge. Okay, next one.
Domino effect. Deal 2 damage to a minion. Repeat to the left or right, dealing 1 more damage each time.
Wait, what?
Okay, so the way this one works, you choose a minion, and then it will choose a direction, either left or right, and
Yeah.
it'll domino
Oh, right.
effect that way. It won't um change direction.
No, no, no.
So
Yeah, I get it.
generally you want to put it on the end of a stack of minions.
Yes.
It's quite a lot of damage.
The- There are ways for your opponent to play around it if
Hmm.
you know this is in the deck, right? Because you can order your minions on the
Yeah.
board in a way that this doesn't kill everything off.
But are people going to do that?
No,
No, it's too much
I
work.
mean,
Too
I'm
much work.
if I'm against Warlock, maybe I would try and think about it, but Surely the first few times this
Yeah.
happens to me, I'm gonna be like, I wish I played around it, didn't.
Yeah. So it's kind of like an AoE
Yeah.
that deals more damage to some minions, right?
Yes.
And at the baseline, it does deal 2 to the whole board at least.
Yeah. I think it's good
Yeah. Might be
because
deal 3.
like when you discover the heat wave, it deals 2 to the board when it's quick drawn,
Mm-hmm.
and that's usually pretty good also.
Yeah, it
So
is
I think this
decent.
is fine.
Yeah.
I give it a 3.
Yeah, I think I'll give it 3 as well. It's a pretty good removal, I think.
Okay, then we have one more Warlock card.
Infernal! 4 mana, 6/6 demon. Taunt battlecry set your hero's remaining health to 15.
Okay.
So, this is for the custom warlock, the self-damage one.
Yeah.
Play this on 4, then you drop the the treant, and then you drop 2 mountain giants with it.
Oh, yeah. Is that how it works?
Yeah, it sets your remaining health to 15, right? Or actually, maybe it sets it, right? So maybe it doesn't work with molten
It
giant.
sets it, yeah. So I don't think you take the damage, right? It just changes. So if you're on 30, it just sets it to 15, but you wouldn't be
Yeah.
damaged.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't damage you.
I don't think
Maybe
so.
it makes your max 15. We'll have to wait confirmation. If you if you put it at 15, I don't know actually. With Alex, that
Yeah.
sets your health to 15, right?
Yeah.
And you can heal above 15.
Yeah. I
So
don't know.
Alex would work with Morn Giant, I think. So this probably
I don't
does
know.
work with it.
We'll have to ask the viewers.
Yeah.
What do you think? Does this work the way Jambre thinks it works with the Molten Giants, or is it not going to work?
Well, we'll see. I mean, if it does work, then it's a bit scary card.
If it does work, it's scary. If it doesn't, it's just a good comeback tool later on. If you like self damage a lot and your health is really low, and then you go back to 15.
True. 4 mana 6/6 taunt is pretty decent stats.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, if it works, it's a bit toxic, I think. I mean, imagine your opponent, they just drop this on a trio. They go to 10 health. They have a 6/6 taunt and they drop a couple mountain giants on 4.
Yeah.
I would not be happy
I
about
feel like it's not how it works, but we're gonna need to either try it or we need one of the devs to comment to this if this
that.
is how it works or not. And if it does, maybe change it.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it works. You could
Yeah.
do it on 3 as well with demon studies. So yeah. I mean, it's if it works how it's supposed to work, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I would give this a 4.
But is this based on your combo or
Yeah, if it doesn't work how I think it works, then I'll give it like a 1.
oh no. I'm gonna give it a 2 because I
Okay.
don't think it works how you think it works. But I think it'll still like be maybe playable in some type of warlock anyway, even if it doesn't work like that.
Okay.
Okay, then we're gonna go to the neutrals.
Oh, no, we got warrior.
Oh, we missed warrior. Wait, did we miss more classes? Oh
No,
no,
just
oh,
warrior.
just warrior. Okay, here we go. Part Scrapper, 2 mana spell, lose up to 5 armor. Your next mag costs that much less. Okay, so this is a mag warrior card.
Yes.
You've been trying some mag warrior. Do you think it'll be good in the deck, or is it still
Yeah,
not going to be good enough?
I think it'll be good. The main mechs you want to combo with are testing dummy, which is
Yeah.
the main mech right now. And there's a new mech coming out from the mini set, which will be the next card. Um, that one is also very good to combo with, and potentially Ziliax. Cheating out the 9 mana
Mm.
Ziliax is quite strong too. Safety Goggle is a great way to activate this.
Yeah, I was just thinking, because Mech Warrior probably doesn't play as many gain armor spells as like the Control-y Warrior,
Yeah.
so you do need to have 5 armor if you want to discount it by that much.
Yeah, you
But
probably just
yeah.
put them in your deck because of this card. You can do some pretty gross stuff like play the testing dummy on turn 3,
Right.
you know, or play like the big boys really, really early.
Mm.
And you can do like mid-game combos where you testing dummy and copy it and stuff,
Okay.
which weren't available before. So it's actually a very, very powerful card. It is a combo card, so you need like quite a lot of card draw to go alongside it, I think.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think it's pretty powerful.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a 3 because because of what you just said.
Hmm.
I haven't played any Mech Warrior myself, so I don't really know what the deck looks like, but I'm gonna trust you on that.
Uh, yeah, I'll give it a 3. I think it screams I'm really powerful, this card, but then there's like a few factors which mean it might not be. If you don't draw the combos with it, your deck gets really
Mm,
clunky. I think
yeah.
that's the main one. When you high roll with this, it's really, really good, but the
Yeah.
opportunity cost might be quite high, so I'll give it a 3.
Okay. And next one.
Here's the mech.
That's the Mag Safety Expert. 10 mana, 8/8. Rush, Death Rattle, shuffle 3 bombs into your opponent's deck. Oh, we're going back to Bomb Warrior.
Yeah.
So you want to combo this with the other dude
Yeah.
for 5.
Other combos, Chemical Spill is a 5 mana card that cheats out your most
Yeah.
expensive card from hand and deals 5 damage to it.
Yeah.
So that's a good way of doing it. There's the weapon that activates a Death Rattle of a mech you can combo with to
Mm-hmm.
shuffle a lot of bombs, probably with
That's fun,
Chemical
yeah.
Spill. This one I think combos much better with Chemical Spill than the previous card,
Okay.
which is partly why I didn't rate the previous card like insanely
Mm.
high. Um, can resummon this with Doctor Boom.
Yeah.
You could see yourself with an archetype that revolves around this card, basically. It's
Yeah.
rough as well, so you can tutor it with the one mana guy. Lots of good things going for it.
Yeah, I think this is a good card. And like looking at the stats, if you had to pay 10 mana to play it, I think it would be just not that good. But because there's like a couple ways to cheat it out and also to res it with the boom
Hmm.
in like maybe Highlander Warrior or just like as you said, a whole new mech bomb archetype.
Yeah.
I want to try this out. I love the old bomb warrior back in the day, so
Yeah, I think
excited to
you
try
might
this out.
get a similar feeling from this one.
Yeah.
The only question is how the deck looks, whether you go all mechs and you play the testing dummy as well,
Mm,
or you go for like more just trying to copy this one and go for the bombs only.
mm.
Both could work.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 4, I think, because I
Oh,
like the archetype.
all right, nice. I'll give it a 3.
Okay, nice. One more warrior card.
The last pack.
Standardized pack. 1 mana. Add 5 random taunt minions to your hand. At the end of your turn, discard them. That's gonna depend on how good the taunt minions in standard are, I guess.
Yes,
Which I'm
not
not
good.
really sure if they are any good.
Not
Okay.
really, no. No, this seems like maybe the worst of the packs,
Yeah.
I would say. Um, there's no real hand size thing for Warrior.
No.
The only thing is Mountain Giant, but I don't think you're gonna play Mountain Giant Warrior, so there's not much reason to play this card, I think. Maybe a good
Okay.
discover for some other classes sometimes, or as if you can discover as Warrior, but
Mm.
otherwise, I doubt they're playing this.
Yeah, I don't really see it either because it can't go in the Mech Warrior that we've talked about, so it almost has to be in the Highlander one, but I don't think the Highlander one
They don't care.
played something like this.
No.
So yeah, this is probably just like a random discover it sometimes fun card.
Yeah, I'll give it a 1.
Same. Okay, so now we really just have neutrals left.
Yes.
And here we go.
Another bomb card.
Another bomb card.
We have Explodoneer, 3 mana, 2/4. At the end of your turn, shuffle a bomb into your opponent's deck. Deals 5 when they draw it.
Yeah, more
More
bombs.
bombs.
That's good. I like that. But
So,
this one is neutral, so that means other classes can shuffle
mm,
bombs as well.
yeah, you could maybe like try and copy this a bunch somehow. If you could somehow like fill your board up with these, that's a lot of bombs.
Mm,
Priest can like creation protocol. They
yeah,
can synchronize.
yeah.
So you could do some shenanigans with it.
We don't have any cards in standard at the moment that make end of turn effects trigger twice, I
No,
guess.
no, not yet.
Wild can do that.
No, but I think there are some complicated ways to make you be able to play a bunch of these.
Mm,
Um, but potentially something other than Warrior could play that.
okay. Yeah, I think this is a good card. Give it a 4.
Oh, you love the
I
bombs.
do love the bombs.
I'll give this a 2.
No! Don't kill my
I'm
dreams.
not killing your dream at all. Given my rating, I'll give it a 2, I think.
Okay. Next one.
The Building Block Golem. 5 mana, 6/3 rush, Death Rattle, summon 3 random 1-cost minions.
Okay.
So board flooded decks, maybe?
Yeah. 3 random 1-cost minions. I'm just trying to think which deck in particular would want to play it. Maybe Paladin?
Yeah, the Flood Paladin maybe as another wave of go
Yeah.
wide. It's a bit like Mothership,
True.
but cheaper. Um, the Death Rattle maybe slightly worse,
Slightly worse, I think,
but
because
you go
yeah.
wider, so
Yeah.
there's that. Not too bad, I think. I think a couple decks want to probably try this card. Maybe the Evolve Shaman that I was going to make could try it
Mm-hmm.
because they probably want to go wide too.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's not bad. It would be a very good discover if you're an
Yeah.
Excavate deck from the 3-mana spell. You'd pick this one pretty often. I think it's all right.
Okay.
I'll give it. You know what? I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay, same. I'm gonna give it a 3. I think it's fine. It can go in like a couple different decks, different classes. Okay. Next one.
The Replicator Innator. 5 mana, miniaturize and gigantify. After you play a minion with the same attack as this, summon a copy of it.
Okay.
Merrick.
Makes you have to think again
Yeah, you have to do a
about
lot of
this.
thinking about this one. So you get a lot of stuff. You get a 1/1 version of this, and you get an 8/8 version of this.
Yeah.
So potential to copy a bunch of things. I had a look. The most promising combo I've seen is with the Goldbeard Pirate.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
So it's a rogue legendary from
Yeah.
the last set. Whenever you summon a pirate, summon a copy of it that attacks a random enemy.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah. So if you were to copy the Goldbeard using this,
Yeah.
they would chain off of each other, and it would keep summoning 5/5s until your board's full. So it's like potentially 25 burst damage
Oh
on an
wow.
empty board if you can pull it
It
off.
sounds a bit difficult to pull off.
It does, yes.
I don't think I can try that. But
Yeah.
maybe it could be a Jambre deck for
Maybe,
a
yeah, yeah.
stream or something.
I mean, it could be a combo. It could be.
Mm,
Other combos, like, it's just generally you combo with 0 mana minions, like Thing from Below or something.
yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that. Amatus and Paladin, when you get the 1 mana
Yeah.
miniaturize, you can get 2 of those. I don't think it's like generally strong enough all-purpose thing. You need quite a few things to be able to copy. So maybe some
Mm.
decks will look at it, but otherwise, probably not that great.
Yeah, I feel like it requires too much setup.
Yeah, it probably will. I'd give it a 2.
Yeah, same.
Big combo card. Maybe people enjoy it, but I don't.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the combos don't seem that real. Okay, Pro Gamer. 2 mana, 2/3 battle cry. Challenge your opponent to a game of rock, paper, scissors. The winner draws 2 cards.
My challenger.
Okay.
No, you changed.
I changed to rock, the one that lost. Why would I do that?
I don't know.
Rock.
I won. I draw two.
Yes. Uh, yeah. Not. What do you think of the card there?
I think it's very funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
But the way I understood this has to be on the board, like when your opponent's turn starts, so you can't shadow step it.
Yes, it's like the suspicious cards
Yeah.
that we had before. Yeah, you choose on your turn,
Yeah.
then it gets to your opponent's
Then they
turn, then
choose.
choose, and
Yeah.
whoever wins draws the card. So it's kind of bad in the sense that you can't immediately draw the
Yeah.
cards, and your opponent can immediately draw. So that's already leaning me towards thinking no one's going to play this.
Yeah. Maybe just for the memes.
Yeah, I guess you can mill your opponent too if they like win,
You know
which maybe is losing.
what would be much funnier than how it actually works is if you played this card, both you and your opponent had to put on their webcams and they'd have to do an actual battle.
I think we're a long way off from them doing that as well, Carl. Yeah.
Or if you're on stream and you're playing against another streamer, you
Oh
go
yeah,
real life.
yeah, real life. So,
But yeah, I mean, I think the card is funny. It's a funny idea, but because you have to wait till the next turn,
hmm
I think it's probably bad.
Yeah, I'll give it a 1.
I give it a 2 because it's funny design.
Okay.
And next one. Oh, this is
The last card.
the last card of the mini set.
Puppet Master Dorian. 4 mana 2/6. After you draw a minion, get a 1/1 copy of it that costs 1. Very
Yeah.
powerful effect, potentially.
It depends on what's in your deck, I guess.
Yeah. Druid, they can
Yeah.
draw ANR or something.
Yeah.
Some very stupid stuff.
I've saw some people tweet about this, and I'm already a little bit scared because you can play this, and then you can play the pendants,
Yes.
and then you draw your A&R, for
Yeah.
example, for
Yeah.
one.
That's pretty good. Um, and you can open summons it in Druid as well
Hmm.
to always get it if you want.
Scary.
Yeah. Also Gaslight Gravedigger guy.
Which
The
one?
one that shuffles your hand. Imagine you play this and
Oh,
you end up
right.
all the
Yeah.
minions you draw.
Maybe this one is one of the reasons they got nerfed.
Yes, and I think the packs,
Mm.
why it got pushed up to 4.
Yeah.
But a lot of strong things with this. You can combo it with the character artist, the one that draws the mustache,
Yeah.
to draw like a specific minion. Maybe
True.
Sif and Mage, for instance. Probably a bit too slow, but that's something you can do. Lots of applications, really.
Yeah. I see it. In Priest, you can also combo it with the Creation Protocol.
Yes.
Then you draw 2 of them.
Yeah, that's really good. And you have like funnel cakes to maybe
Mm.
make that a bit easier. Um, yeah, I think it's pretty strong. Lots of application. It's not like the worst, just I'm going to play this, and if you don't deal with it, I'm going to get a lot of
Yeah.
value out of it either. The stat line. So I think I'll give it a 4.
Yeah. Same. I think it will work in lots of different types of decks. Okay, that was it for the whole mini set. What's your favorite card out of all of the ones we just talked
Oh,
about?
my favorite card. I think I really like the Evolve Shaman card because
Same.
I wanna have some fun
Same.
with it. That's your favorite too?
Yeah, that one, the 5 mana
Ah,
transform into like legendaries from the past, but also I think
the bombs?
the bombs
Yeah.
and the mage one with the random spell, the
Oh
elusive
yeah,
guy.
that one was pretty fun.
Yeah, basically everything that's random. Like,
Yeah.
okay, well, thanks for watching, everyone, and let me know in the comments what your favorite card is. Thanks for Jambre. Thanks for Jambre. Thanks to Jambre for
Yes.
joining me today to talk about some cards.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again later. Bye.
Bye.